This video is for the basketball and netball analysis that includes the descriptive statistics and how to display it all on a bar chart, as well as explains how to run the t-test whilst interpreting it. The research project shows the difference between netball and basketball shooting ability from a tutor group. The data was collected by a field-based technique where we went into a sports hall and used the basketball and netball hoops in order to collect the data. In order to analyze this, we go on to the data 2 pack, and we go into data analysis. Then we click onto data statistics, descriptive statistics, sorry, and we highlight from basketball to netball, not including any names, and we make sure it's the labels in front row is checked as well as summary statistics is checked, and we press OK. This then creates the descriptive statistics that's shown over here. I'm just going to name this as descriptive stats over here. We can see that basketball seems to be more successful than netball. We can see this by its most common value, and it can also be shown that it's more successful in this tutor group. However, we don't know if that's a significant difference, as we haven't done the t-test yet. We seem to be better at basketball as the standard deviation is close to 0 than it is for netball. Therefore, there is less variation around the mean, as you can see around here. In order to get a bar chart to display this data, we go back onto sheet 1, we highlight basketball to netball all the way down, and we click insert, and we press this icon over here that shows a bar chart, and we click this. And we press move chart onto new sheet and OK. As you can see here, it's come onto a new sheet over here, and I'm just going to label this as the bar chart. We can then label this title as the difference of basketball and netball shooting performance. We can then leave it like this, and this side will be showing the number of successful shots, and this side will be showing the participants included. As we can see, basketball seems to be better as the bar is at a higher level than the netball, shown in this diagram right here. Then we go back onto sheet 1. In order to run the t-test, we click the data pack, the data analysis 2 pack again, and then we click data analysis, and we scroll down to find the t-test. We make sure we are finding the t-test paired 2 samples for means, and we put the input variable. To find out the input variable, we highlight everything from the netball first, and then we highlight everything from the basketball first, the second. Make sure we add the labels, and the alpha is set on to 0.05, and we make sure it's on a new worksheet and press OK. shooting performance and the basketball shooting performance of this tutor group is as a major one, as the E number shown over here is -5, which is good. So the reason why we chose the t-test was because, as we can see in this diagram shown over here, if I zoom in a bit. So I just went on the course chapter and on page 23, and I'm using the first diagram shown over here. So if you look at the inferential statistics here, we need to know if it's a parametric or non-parametric test. A non-parametric test requires normal and ordinal data, whilst parametric tests require interval and ratio data. So if we're looking at the basketball and netball experiment, we're using the ratio data as we're collecting frequencies in basketball and netball shots. Therefore, we're making it into ratio, as ratio is a parametric kind of test. So if we scroll on to the next diagram down here, we can see how we do this. So if we look at the type of data and we look at interval and ratio, so we're looking at the difference between, so we go along, we're looking at the difference in mean between basketball and netball as we go along this line. When we come to the next point, which is around here, when we come on to the next one around, which is over here, we skipped a stage. So we scroll back over here and it shows that there's MANOVA and ANOVA. There are some tests that are called MANOVA and ANOVA. These tests require more sets of data. They require at least two, while the t-test uses two different variants which are independent and dependent. As basketball and netball are two separate groups of data, we go on up onto this line, and it shows us an independent t-test. Thank you for listening.